Hello, welcome to my video. This is Heidi from Heidiroo. In this video, I will tell you all about how I started my Etsy shop. I'll also answer some questions you have for me. Let's begin. I started drawing when I was a kid, pretty much like everyone. It was something that really became my identity all throughout school. As I got older, I only grew even more passionate. However, I never went to school for it. I never thought of it as a career until recently. So my Etsy story begins shortly after I graduated. I moved to Pasadena with Danny, my husband, in 2013 and began to look for a 9-to-5 job. I struggled a lot, so I had to find a part-time job for the time being. I kept applying to other jobs and interviewed for several, but nothing really worked. I was working a retail job in the meantime to pay the bills. I became really close with some of my coworkers and truly enjoyed working there. When Valentine's Day came along in 2014, I made Valentines for my coworkers. I illustrated them myself and made each one unique. One of my coworkers told me the Valentines were super cute and that I could sell my work. It had never occurred to me to sell my illustrated work. I had sold paintings before to get money for college books, but never my illustrations. From that moment on, I decided to look into opening an online store. I knew about Etsy because I loved shopping on it. It's a whole different experience. It's personal and so special. So in March of 2014, I opened up my Etsy store for the first time. I had spent the rest of February creating my first greeting card line, which featured 5 cards. I still remember my first order. It was my lemon card and it made its way to the East Coast. Soon after my first sale, I began planning my next line of cards, which were my Mother's Day cards. I had 3 designs which sold very well. From there, I branched out to the wholesale. I reached out to flower shops in Pasadena and a few gift shops as well. I was so happy to see my designs on a card rack besides other fellow artists. That summer, I quit my part-time job to start my first full-time office job. From then on, I had my Etsy store as a hobby, and then I would manage every now and then. Whenever I would feel down about my job, I went back to designing a new card or a new product line of cards. It was my happy place. Sales became super seldom. As I grew busier, my Etsy time disappeared. And then April 2016 happened. I had my first panic attack at work. I was not in a good place with my mental health, so I sought help. This is when I decided to make time to draw again. I started drawing every single day after work. I would illustrate anything I wanted and post it to Instagram. I continued this and soon began discovering the world of illustration. In the fall of 2016, I declared that I was going to be an illustrator and revisit my Etsy glory beginnings. This time, I dove into prints. To this day, I 100% prefer to create prints above all. From there, I went on to creating broches with polymer clay and learning how to sew to make zipper pouches. Throughout all of 2017, I worked extra hard to tend to my Etsy shop. I try to come up with new products every week or month. Although I worked super hard towards my shop to reach new customers, I felt like I wasn't getting as many sales. That's the thing about doing things the organic way, slow growth. It's not until now that I get consistent sales on Etsy. It's beginning to feel like up until now, I'm seeing my hard work pay off. I continue to work towards my Etsy shop sales to see what works and where I need to place more focus. I'm still working on it because I still strive to reach more customers that love my style. I'm by no means a pro, but what I have learned is that keeping a cohesive theme in your shop helps. Maintaining focus in your passion is key. For me, that is my prints. I continue to work diligently to keep my prints my top-selling item. Consistency is always key. Just like social media requires consistency, Etsy works the same. You have to tend to your shop as you would with a physical shop. Bring new items, keep your customers excited, think proactive, and stay motivated. but also take breaks. That's important too. So the first question, how long did it take you to figure out good materials? And what things did you figure out quickly did not work? So I'm always looking for the best materials. This will probably never change. But the best way is trying different stuff and listen to your customers. I also order from my favorite illustrators and see how they ship and in what conditions it arrives and what they use to provide quality packages. This is great research, plus you support independent artists. Win-win. As far as figuring out what did not work, that comes with time too. For me, I noticed that when I was creating felt garlands, zipper pouches, polymer clay pins, prints, and more, I noticed that my store felt chaotic. There was no cohesive theme, and I was basically trying to do all the things. I noticed I didn't feel as passionate with some of my designs, and the sales portrayed that too. So I decided to put more attention towards prints, where my true passion lies. That has changed my store sales a lot. So see what you love creating the most and put all your attention and energy towards it and see how it sells. Second question. Do you get most of your sales through Etsy, Instagram, or people you know, etc.? When I first started, 80% of my sales were friends and family. Today, I would say I get about 50% follower sales and 50% Etsy customers that I don't know. I think this is why I have stayed with Etsy regardless of their high fees. They are a popular market for the artsy, crafty peeps, so that truly helps me. Plus, it's amazing to see how my art makes it across the world. My goal is to continue to reach more customers, and Etsy has really helped with that. So that's all for today. Please feel free to ask me any questions below in the comments. Subscribe if you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Bye.